That's also all my wife's company is worried about too. It's like well, it kind of started like 3 years ago, but this year, like the throttle's really been hit.
Daniel chapter 12. In verse 8, Daniel asks a question. He says, "And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things?" And it's all the prophecies that Daniel received all the way through the book. But one of the answers that preceded the question, back in verse 4, he says, "But thou, Daniel, shut up the words, seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." And we are running to and fro like no other time in history except probably back to the days of Noah and before. And by the way, the only other people that run to and fro in the Bible are the fallen angels. That's AI. That's who's driving AI, are the fallen angels, and they're the only ones that run to and fro. And he's telling us that we're going to be back to a time when they're running to and fro. So, yeah, we're right there. And knowledge is, like Jonathan, you just said, knowledge is the key factor at the very end. That's what man seeks after. And there's no limits to what we'll go to try to get knowledge. I mean, we're told it all the way through our life. Knowledge is what? Power. Knowledge is power. So that's what man seeks, because they want to be all powerful.
What they're talking about literally talking about how these companies are in such a hurry that they want the power.
Yeah, they want to be the first one to the point. So, like you said, because there's no limits on any of it right now. So if they're the first ones to get it,
Like money's not even a factor. They just tell us to do it and do it now.
yeah,
Send us the bill. We don't care what it costs.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they're talking. So the head of the pipe fitters union started calling all the pipe fitters around town today, and then it was going through our office, and they're starting to tell those guys that it's time to start refusing work unless they get like another $100 an hour on checks.
Wow.
And they're gonna pay it.
Oh yeah, they will.
So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of wealth flowing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make a lot of money right now, become a pipe fitter.
Yep.
Don't get as much as you
Any of
want.
the union trades, really. I mean,
Yeah. Man.
I was gonna say something else on that, but yeah, it's that's what I was gonna say. We know an individual that previously worked for a company that is very high into all of this, and they made it clear that they were told, probably still are, that they have technology that would decimate the mind capacity of humans. So they have to be careful about what they release and how they release it slowly, because if they let it all out at once, it would mentally we wouldn't be able to handle it. The majority of the population. So
And that's really what we're up against too now. When we try to share truth with the world, they're gonna use AI against truth to show you.
yeah,
Just basically try to manipulate, just make real truth
yep,
appear to be
right. That's ultimately what's going to come down to. They're going to have their chat GBT or whatever up against this. They're going to go with this.
I can't remember that guy's name off the top of my head. It's Bill or
I can't remember either.
Anyway, so he was talking about how the most valuable thing in this era that we live in now is going to be the most valuable commodity will be the knowledge of the actual scripture and the real truth.
Yeah.
Because very few people will have it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just so important at this time.
Well, even these particular Bibles, the Bearing Precious Seed Wide Margin, in the last, well, since COVID, there's only been a small window that you've been able to order and get these. It's going to become harder and harder, I believe, to get King James authorized version Bibles. They're going to and they're printing, AI generated Bibles and using those. The paper bound Bibles are going to be harder to come by as time goes. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Many resources. I mean, we can still get the little black ones, but we can't get wide margin right now.
Church Bible publishers do. They're like make premium. They're all American made.
Yeah.
Nice leather and stuff. But they have sales a lot. They've been having big sales.
Well, keep your eye open because I'm out of the wide margin. We need to order.
They've got a bunch of them. And they've had a lot of them on sale for under $100.
Yeah. These are normally 50, so if we stay around. But mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, they're going to be right in the middle of it.
Went and found to make his paper.
Mm.
42,000 words paper he used AI.
There you go.
Well, they're thinking that they're going to be able to use it to actually create a lot of.
Well, that's the ultimate goal. That's always been the ultimate goal. Yep. That's the only thing that the devil cannot do is create life, and that's been his.
Podcast I listened to last night. I got that. It seems like they're pretty close at that point.
Yeah.
Crazy engineering and stuff, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've been doing that for as long as.
now that they've got this power.
Yeah.
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 It's like clouds are so far ahead of everything that they just tell us a little bit at a time.
Yep. And the interesting thing about all that is you go all the way back to Proverbs, and you find out that the beginning of knowledge is simply the fear of the Lord. So man is literally wasting resources beyond belief to try to gain knowledge. In reality, it's so simple. You have a healthy fear of the Lord, and that's where it all begins. But yep. I mean the government or not necessarily the government, but their entities own and are gaining property by the day. So.
One of Utah that's twice the size of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's probably a good thing she's getting out of there. I think it's on the north end of the lake. If I remember right. Anyway, all right. Anything else on that or question, or we can? No, I mean that's what this is for.
Well, even if they manage to create life or whatever, and they'll try to use that to say, see, you don't think it's anything for God.
Yeah.
But all they will have proven is that it took an intelligent mind.
Right. Something superhuman.
Right.
Yep.
So that's what they're proven.
And it took him, what, 6,000 years to do something God did in a day? Less than a day? So,
Crazy, we're gonna see some.
maybe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did you think that before you came to unlock the door on a Thursday or Sunday morning, there would be lineup?
No, they're all at the casino and. Yep.
Keep their bellies.
Yep. I was talking to somebody the other day that they were all they could talk about was baptism when they got baptized, and they're supposed to be at a Bible, well, not Bible, but a Christian church. Not one time was salvation mentioned. It was so and so got baptized when they were 6 months old, and this person got baptized. And
I went, we got to go on a walk. Anyway, we ran into a neighbor that lived in the street and started talking, and I don't remember how it came about, but he started talking about the guy that used to live in the house. That was like, you know, it's kind of funny, as much as as many churches as he's, oh, I know what it was. Where
oh yeah.
And then you could tell he was trying to avoid us and he didn't want to talk to us.
Yeah.
And anyway, so then he's kind of looking at that. So he's like, you know, it's funny. As many churches as that guy decided he never went to church ever. And he's just laughing, and I was like, well, I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you could just avoid it, and I don't know, it's just kind of stinks.
Yeah. Sad. We.
It just, and in his eyes, he probably sees that as the church save you, but it's like, no, you know, you get pulled out of the mire and keep stuff on
Yep.
the solid rock.
Well, and but some people think, well, I helped all these churches. That was probably good in God's eyes. You know, I helped all these people. So.
You see him out working in the yard, being running around beer ball stands and stuff. It's like, you know, worked on his whole life for just to be at his house by himself.
Yeah.
Work in the yard, drink beer for people.
Yeah. Seems pretty lonely.
Obviously, it's point out as an engineer and stuff. It's like you work that hard, you know, all of the things just to sit in the house.
Treasure on earth. Yep. Amen. Amen.
I mean, I worked on a lot of churches, and I know that didn't help me. You know, it's just like, they're no different than any other.
It's just the building.
Strip club I worked at.
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
It's not the building, it's the spirit inside the building. Well, that's a perfect lead in. We've been started Ecclesiastes here a little while back. You guys are basically talking about the first aspect of what we were going to get in tonight on it. So, I mean, the first 3 verses of the whole book give you the context for what the rest of the book's going to be about, and it's exactly what we're talking about here. And unfortunately, some people never figure it out. Solomon was at least wise enough to realize that there wasn't anything to come good out of living your life for self and for this world. We started Proverbs 4:23, where it talks about out of the issues of life, the heart. It all stems out of the heart, and that's what Ecclesiastes is dealing with the issues of life from a human standpoint, from a physical standpoint. And some interesting notes about what's going on in here. Ecclesiastes is 12 chapters, and if you, and we'll look at it as we go, but you understand the breakdown of what's going on in Ecclesiastes. It's all centered around the day system and the month system, and then there's 12 chapters, and I think that's by design. There's 12 months in a year, and Proverbs got 31 proverbs, and it fits that most months, 31 days, you've got a proverb per day. Ecclesiastes, you got a chapter per month, because this deals with the daily grind of the human life without God. You live your life for Christ, then your whole mindset's different. You live your life from the world, for the world, and for yourself, and you got a chapter a month here, or a year, that ties into a month out of the year, that will reiterate to you over and over again all the struggles that will come, and the gain, as the world would see it, or the lack thereof as we would see it. Ecclesiastes comes from the word ecclesia, as we talked about, which means called out assembly. And this is what you have here in Ecclesiastes is directly written for a congregation or a called out group. And it opens up, verse 1, the words of the preacher. The only book in the Old Testament the word preacher appears in is Ecclesiastes. And I think it's 7 times in the whole book. The rest of them are all in there's only like 11 in the whole Bible, but the rest are in the New Testament. Obviously dealing with the church. But the only time in the Old Testament the word preacher shows up is right here. Because he's writing, this is a preacher writing a message to a called out group of believers about the ways of man and the end thereof if you don't get yourself where you need to be. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. No question about who is the author of this book. It's Solomon. And he also says the words, plural. We've talked about that many, many times over and over again. Words. There's something different in your Bible about word, singular, and words, plural. And Solomon covers a great deal of that in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3, Proverbs chapter 7. The words are the key essential. And if you don't have God's words, then you don't have anything. Because it just becomes then about the message or the overall theme, or trying to just get the best you can out of it. We can do that all day long. But we know what happens when you rely on man's system of interpretation. You're going to have something different. You're going to have something different. We're all going to have our own view of what the context should be. But when you read the words, it becomes very plain and very clear what God's getting across. And Solomon keeps that theme as he moves into Ecclesiastes. He opens up verse 2 and he says, vanity of vanities. And that word vanity will show up 28 times in the book of Ecclesiastes. 28. And that'll also match the amount of times when you get over to chapter 3. There's 28 times. And that links to a lunar month. 28 days in a lunar month. So you've got 28 times, meaning each day has its own idea or own process that takes place. But then also, man will come up with a vanity every single day of every single month of every single year. 28 times. Now in the book as a whole, there's 10 vanities that he covers specific. But the word will show up over and over again as you go through it. He says, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities. Repeats it, just in case you missed it the first time. And then he ends the verse by saying, all is vanity. And again, man will come up with everything we can, and every excuse and every reason why we should do it this way, why this is going to work better. Now we're having to come up with a whole false system of AI to try to tell us that this is better and this is perfect, and this is true, and these answers no man can come up with, but if AI says it, but at the end of the day, folks, unless it comes out of this book, it's all vanity. It's all trash, and it's not going to profit man one iota.
I was gonna say that's crazy, you know, where I was saying, the Old Testament, not that crazy now. You see how the world's going, how things that are taking place in the Old Testament, coming back to life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he says, as it was in the day of Noah, we're all the way back in Genesis chapter 6. Well, it looked like you were trying to say something, so. Yep. It's emptiness, it's man trying to fulfill the desires of life with something, yeah, with some substance. But at the end of the day, you find it's what you're talking about with that neighbor. You find out at the end of the day that you still feel as empty as you did before, even though you thought, I know Brian just left, finally got him out of here, but
And they think they have everything.
yeah.
They think he thinks he literally has accomplished everything that he
Yep.
has been set up in life to do, and he is as happy as can be, and he looks at me like I'm a fool.
Yeah, sure. They always do. But the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. But Brian brings up Tom Brady. You know, he's got the most Super Bowl rings in NFL history. And he saw an interview with him a while back, and he basically said, look, I've done more than any other NFL player. I've got more money. I've dated supermodels. I've had anything I've wanted in life. But I still don't feel fulfilled. I still feel empty. There's still something missing. And that, I mean, if you can take somebody to that high level that still says that, that's Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse, or 1 verse 2. All is vanity. What is it? Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yep. And I mean, look, you go back, there's only a few names that have lasted generations. Most people's names last one generation, maybe two if you're lucky, maybe a third. But at some point, you fade off. I mean, he talks about that here after a while, but you fade off. Nobody even knows you ever existed. And it's crazy how we put so much effort into building this life, and in 70, 150, 200 years, you're completely forgotten for the most part. Yeah. Nope. Verse 3 says, what profit? There it is again. Profit as in gain, not a foreteller of the future. What profit hath man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? Now, it's a rhetorical question. Some interesting aspects of that verse. The first one is it says his labor. It's that individual. As opposed to look at 1 Timothy chapter 5. There's only one kind of labor that lasts. It doesn't even last. It only lasts for about 70 years, and it's all for naught. I guess Mary's was the only one. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17. He says, charge the... Oh, that's 6, 17. Let's go to 5. Yep. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. That's the only labor that's going to matter in this life. Well, it's the same thing.
I just think it's cool how the Bible's always read
Yep.
You think it's the same thing?
What? Studying and laboring?
Laboring in the
Well, I think studying would be part of laboring, but labor could extend out to sharing it, ministering with it, using it, whereas studying is just kind of get. Yep. Yep. Well, that's what I say. I think studying would be part of the labor, but the labor would extend further to sharing. But it's all tied together. I mean, at the end of the day. Yep.
and it takes work to study.
Yeah, it does.
Dividing, because it is
Yeah.
rightly dividing.
Yeah.
So true study is rightly dividing,
Right.
going back and forth, through scripture, so that's labor.
100% it is. And that's a misconcept I think that mankind has too is the concept of laboring. I think a lot of people look at laboring as you got to be swinging a hammer or turning a wrench or you got to be doing something physically, whereas laboring at a book is just as strenuous, more mentally than out sweating. There's just because you're in a chair doesn't mean you're not laboring.
And I charge labor hours every day, sitting in a chair.
Yep.
That's some of the harder parts.
Yeah. Me too.
I build stuff in my notes with other people's hands.
There you go.
I go out and I'm still how it's done. I think I forgot.
Snap it together and say, there, see, it works. You can do it. I always like that. You get that call, this isn't going to work. And you show up and do it. And it's like, yeah, all day long. What profit hath man of all his labor, which he taketh, and then this phrase here, under the sun. Under the sun, that's going to show up 27 times throughout the book. Just to keep reiterating the point that everything that he's talking about in here is dealing with man and man's ways, man's concepts of thinking, man's approach to life. It's all dealing with under the sun. And that's the first time it shows up here. But I said it's a rhetorical question. It is in a degree. But turn to Hebrews chapter 9. There is still an answer, even though it's rhetorical. And I'll show you, well, I won't, but the Bible will show you what profit there is of all your labor. It's 29. Oh, I had 27. Close enough. We'll count them as we go. There's one. Hebrews 9, verse 16. No, 27. And it is appointed unto man once to die. There's your profit. For all your labor, all the years of sweating, bleeding, throwing temper tantrums, doing all the things that we do, laboring under the sun, you know what your reward is? You're going to die. Just because you work harder than the guy next to you or, whoever, it may gain you a little bit of leverage in this life, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up in the same place, so it really didn't get you anywhere ahead. It's like those bumper stickers that say, he who dies with the most toys wins. I don't think that's going to matter. Huh? I guess. It's like the other bumper sticker that says, I've never seen a hearse with a luggage rack. Yeah. Pulling a U-Haul, yeah.
Have a wife that has the dumpster drop at your dad's house.
Yeah. Chucks it all in there. There is no gain. There is no gain. I'll give you a couple other here. Turn to Matthew chapter 6. I'll show you another gain that comes from it. You work hard and you buy all kinds of stuff and you accumulate and you have it. But Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 says, lay up Or lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. Why? Where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. So you do all this, and you get it, and then what happens to it? It, bless you, rusts out, deteriorates, breaks, falls apart, especially today. Gets stolen. Yep. I mean, nothing lasts more than about 5 or 10 years anymore. If you're lucky. Yeah. When cars used to run 300,000 miles, now you get 100,000 miles, and yep, got to change the transmission, got to replace the this and that. I mean, it's just a money pit. That's, well, we should read verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And see what it all comes back to? It all comes back to a heart issue. Proverbs 4:23. Out of it are the issues of life. You find out when you talk to folks about where their heart is, because you find out when you listen to them, what's the struggles in their life? Is it saving souls and making sure my this gets saved, and this person I met, and this prayer, or is it all physical things that at the end of the day, where's your heart? What's important?
I think about a lot people that serve other people, whether it be homeless people or kids, like or church or anything. Somebody that dedicates their life to people and serving others, they're always way more happy. They just have more life. Somebody that is making millions of dollars.
Yep.
And has they think they have friends, but really they have no friends.
Yep.
Person, they know that other person that truly cares for them. And so at that point, I mean, they go have a lot,
Right. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that on Sunday, and then Monday morning, Melissa texted me this stat that she found, which ties right in what you're saying. Wealthy Americans that never attend church are 26% happy. Wealthy or never attend church, 26. Poor Americans that never attend church are only 19% happy. But poor Americans that attend several times a week are 36% happy. So poor people who go to church are 10% happier than wealthy people who don't go to church. So it's not about your financial status, it's about where you're putting your time.
I got the first highlight, and then after I started reading that, I went down. I got that. No man can serve humanity.
Yep. That's right. And that, what's it say? God or mammon? Mammon's man. Yeah. James chapter 5, verse 3 says, your gold and silver is cankered. Meaning it's not real gold, it's not real silver. I mean, we're dealing with that today. Pennies used to be, they don't make them now supposedly, but pennies used to be copper. Then they became, cheap metal with a coating on them that wasn't even copper. That's cankered. The elements that used to be pure and worth something, they're not even real anymore. They've become cankered. Yep. And the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And that's what this world is doing. We're stockpiling stuff that at the end of the day it's all going to be burned up anyway. If it makes it through the nuclear blast of the tribulation into the millennium, it's going to be renovated by fire at the end of the millennium. So every element on this earth is going to be blasted and turned into sulfuric dust or worse. So, all these folks that are building these bunkers down in the mountains and think they're going to escape judgment and fire, and the Bible says at the second advent that Jesus Christ is going to melt the mountains as he skips across them. Man, it's all going to be exposed. Do what? Yep. Yep. So it was a rhetorical question, but it's not rhetorical because, like I said, the Bible has an answer for it all. There is zero profit that comes. And like you said, even if you are able to pass on to your children, that only lasts another short time, and that's not the inheritance that the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs talks about to pass on to your children. The inheritance is the inheritance of loving Jesus Christ and knowing the Word of God and saving souls. That's the inheritance that lasts. So that's Solomon's intro. You get 12 chapters of that, and he, no pun intended, he brings the heat right off the bat. He's not. You got to think about it. I mean, think about you and I in a situation where whether we went into it on our own accord thinking, oh, this is going to be a great idea. Probably stick with that just for this instance. But think you get into something, think, man, this is going to be a great idea. We're going to do this. And by the time you get to the end, you're so done because so many problems happened and it didn't go the way you thought and it fell apart and it was just a mess. And you get to the end of it, you're not going to run around and tell people, hey, do this or go try it this way. You're going to be so fed up, you're going to tell people it don't have anything to do with that. It's not worth your time. That's what Solomon's up against here. He spent these number of years trying every aspect of life that he could that's available. And he's not going to mince words with anybody at this point because he knows that there's no benefit from it. All it did was cause him pain, heartache, struggle, and probably cost him years of his life, off his life. He's not going to tiptoe into this thing and, I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to make you. He's going to go in punching and trying to get people to realize that, hey, this isn't, you don't want anything to do with this. There's no benefit that comes out of it. And that's unfortunately in the day and age we live in, it's very hard to approach people that way. And I think that's the struggle that you have found. People won't take it that way. And very few people will receive a message anymore that has any kind of negativity to it, if that's the way you want to use. They have to be soft padded and no, they don't want to hear it, and they don't want to be preached at or talked to or told what to do. Yep. That's true. Knowledge. Back to knowledge.
What churches believe,
Mm-hmm.
and they've just got this false mindset, and again, it's also the belief that everybody has when they're first born of I've got to do good. So then they think that the churches are supposed to all these rules wrong.
Yep.
That's not
Right. And that's the book of Judges. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. There was no king in Israel. And we're right back there.
It's
a weird time.
That's what all the apostles and everybody else did, and they were up against the same. I mean, sit there and read the Gospels and stuff. Really, people acted pretty much.
Yep. And the prophets.
I mean, they were up against people that thought they were intelligent.
Yep. No new thing under the sun.
Are we ashamed to do it or not?
Yep.
Well, that's really the question. Most people are.
So here's the thing, and this is my approach to it. I spend more time working with kids than adults in that sense, because the adults, like you said, they don't want to hear it. So why waste my time? I'll deal with the kids that will actually listen, and there's a shot that they could get saved. Prepare that next generation to come up and be able to handle it.
I have to, I mean, there's a certain amount of spirit and discernment and all that. Those adults that I come across are looking for a battle, they are looking for
To answer.
an answer.
Yep.
Or what the thing.
Right.
All you're gonna do is time on it.
Yep.
They're trying to figure it out what people do not hear. What people
Right.
So you can usually tell somebody really searching for something.
Yeah. 100%.
Sort of fight.
Yeah. It's not worth the time. Yeah. Make sure it's backwards though, so when you hit them,